Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through the noise to bring you the insights that matter. Today we're jumping into a topic that's, well, everywhere. STEM education. It's hugely popular, clearly vital for the future, and honestly, we've had a ton of requests from you to cover this.
It's definitely captured the zeitgeist, hasn't it? The importance of STEM. I mean, for preparing everyone for what's coming.
Huh.
It's just exploded in the last few years. It's really seen as foundational now.
Absolutely. So for this deep dive, our main guide is an article from CEO World magazine by Fotis Pentopoulos called A Guide to Understanding and Leveraging STEM Courses. Our mission really is to kind of map out this STEM world, what it covers, how it's used, whether you're maybe a student thinking about careers or an educator or just, curious about where things are headed.
And Pentopoulos brings an interesting mix to it. He's been a teacher, a communication specialist, and he researches organizational behavior. So it's not just abstract theory. There's a practical grounding there.
Exactly. Because getting a handle on STEM, it's not really about just learning definitions, is it? It's about equipping yourself, really, to make smarter decisions in this world that's changing so fast. It's seeing how these fields open up so many possibilities for innovation, for discovery.
Right.
So let's start right there. What is STEM, fundamentally? Why all the focus?
Well, the article lays it out pretty clearly. STEM is basically an umbrella term. It stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's a way of grouping these fields that are distinct but very interconnected.
Okay, science, technology, engineering, math. But I think a lot of people still see them as separate subjects you take in school. How does the article say they're connected? Like, what's the common thread?
Yeah, that's a good point. The core purpose, according to the guide, is really equipping students with the knowledge, sure, but also the skills to tackle real-world problems. It's less about just absorbing facts and more about fostering invention, experimentation, and maybe most importantly, critical thinking, analytical skills.
And it really emphasizes this interdisciplinary idea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That STEM aims to give you a more kind of holistic view of the world by blending these four areas.
That's central to it. It's about fostering collaboration between these disciplines,
Yeah.
seeing the connections.
Can you give an example of that? Like, how does that work in practice?
Sure. Think about something like developing a new vaccine. You need the biology, the chemistry, that's the science part.
Yeah.
You need sophisticated lab equipment and data analysis, that's technology. Maybe you need new ways to manufacture or deliver it at scale, that's engineering. And underlying all of it are the mathematical models for tracking spread, efficacy, that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah.
That's the power of it.
Yeah.
Real problems rarely respect those neat academic boundaries.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so with that framework, let's maybe break down the components a bit. What falls under science in the STEM context today?
Well, you have the core fields, obviously. Biology, chemistry, physics, environmental science. But what the source highlights is how much overlap there is now. Like computational biology, using powerful computing to understand genetics, or environmental science using, say, satellite tech and data models. It's understanding the natural world, but with much more advanced tools.
And technology must be moving incredibly fast.
Oh, absolutely. So this covers things like data analysis, IT, computer science. It's not just about using tech, but understanding how to build, manage, and leverage these digital systems that, I mean, they really underpin everything else now.
Right, then engineering. I
Yeah.
tend to think of, bridges, maybe engines, but it's broader than that.
Much broader. The guide mentions fields like civil, mechanical, electrical, aerospace engineering. The list goes on. It's all about applying scientific principles, using math to actually design and build things, to find solutions. Could be materials, could be software, could be complex systems.
Okay. And finally, mathematics, the M.
Mhm.
How does that fit in? Is it just the calculation part?
It's much more than just calculation, though that's part of it. Math provides the language, the framework. Think statistics and probability vital for making sense of all the data we generate. Then you have calculus, geometry, algebra. These are the fundamental tools for modeling phenomena, for solving problems across all the other STEM areas. It's like the logical glue holding it together.
That really paints a clear picture. So we understand what STEM is. Now, why should someone study it? What are the big advantages, according to the guide?
Okay, the number one benefit stressed is developing skills that are just incredibly in demand. It's not just about the subject knowledge. STEM education really hones your critical thinking, your problem-solving muscles.
Could you give an example of that in action?
Sure. Imagine A city facing worsening traffic congestion. STEM thinking wouldn't just be about building more roads. It might involve data scientists analyzing traffic flow, engineers designing smarter traffic light systems, maybe urban planners using simulations. It's that multifaceted approach to finding a real solution. Employers really value that ability.
Right, that ability to not just spot a problem, but actually devise a way to fix it. And career-wise,
Well, that translates directly. STEM graduates are often really well positioned for challenging roles, for making tangible contributions, driving innovation. And in many areas, demand for these skills is high, leading to strong career paths.
it also sounds like it's about more than just filling existing jobs. It's about creating new things, fostering innovation.
Yes, absolutely. The guide makes a point that STEM courses actively encourage invention and creativity. They train you to look at problems and think, okay, how could we do this differently, maybe more efficiently, maybe in a way no one's thought of before? That's encouraged through experimentation, through
And,
analysis.
and another key point mentioned is teamwork, collaboration, which feels more important than ever.
It really is. Think about the massive challenges we face: climate change, pandemics, sustainable energy. These aren't things one person or even one discipline can solve alone. You need people with different expertise working together. STEM education often involves group projects, interdisciplinary work, precisely to build those collaborative skills.
Okay, so if you're listening to this and thinking, right, STEM sounds important, maybe it's for me, how do you actually choose the right path within it? The guide has some advice here, starting with looking inward, right?
Exactly. That's step one. You have to assess yourself. What genuinely interests you? What are you naturally good at? Or what skills do you want to develop? And what are your bigger career goals? Be honest with yourself.
Then do your homework on the different fields.
Yes, research the various STEM areas that seem appealing. Read about them, maybe watch some videos, talk to people if you can. Find out what they're really like day to day.
And be practical too. Check out the job market.
Definitely. See what kinds of jobs are out there in the fields that interest you. What are the prospects like? And again, realistically assess, could you see yourself doing that? Do you have, or can you build, the necessary aptitude?
The guide also mentions thinking about how you learn best.
That's crucial. Some courses are very lab-heavy, very hands-on. Others might be more theoretical, more mathematical. Does the teaching style fit your learning style? Finding a good fit there makes a huge difference in, well, sticking with it and succeeding.
And perhaps most importantly, ask for help. Talk to people.
Yes, don't try to figure it all out in a vacuum. Seek advice. Talk to teachers, career counselors, mentors, people actually working in fields that interest you. Their insights can be incredibly valuable in making an informed choice.
Okay, so let's say you've chosen a path. You're in a STEM course. What does it take to actually do well?
It definitely takes commitment, but there are strategies. The guide emphasizes, first, building a really strong foundation. You can't just jump to the complex stuff. You need a solid grasp of the fundamental concepts. That's the base everything else builds on.
Makes sense. You need the basics before you can build the skyscraper.
Exactly. And then practice, practice, practice problem solving. Don't just read the textbook examples. Work through problems, apply the concepts to different scenarios, maybe even look for real-world situations where they apply. That's how you really sharpen your thinking.
And don't be afraid to ask for help when you get stuck, which happens to everyone.
Absolutely essential.
Hmm.
The guide really stresses this. If you're struggling with a concept, reach out. Talk to your instructors, your classmates, find study groups, look for online resources. There's no shame in it. That's how learning works.
And get your hands dirty, right?
Yeah.
Practical experience.
Yes. Embrace the hands-on stuff.
Mm.
Labs, projects, internships, if you can get them. That's where the theory clicks into place. It's where you see how these concepts actually work in the real world. It builds practical skills. And frankly, it's often the most engaging part, seeing your code run or your design work.
Yeah, those aha moments.
Exactly.
And the final tip, which feels relevant for life, not just STEM, is stay curious.
Couldn't agree more. These fields change so quickly. New discoveries, new technologies emerge all the time. So you have to keep learning, keep asking questions, stay engaged with what's happening. That curiosity, that commitment to lifelong learning is really key to staying relevant and effective.
That really wraps it up nicely. This whole deep dive into Guide from CEO World magazine, it just underlines how vital STEM education really is for individuals unlocking their potential, but also, for shaping a better future overall.
It really does. The message is clear. Engaging with STEM, whether you're a student, an educator, or just someone trying to understand the world, opens up incredible opportunities. So we definitely encourage you to explore, find what sparks your interest, and maybe start your own journey of discovery.
So as a final thought to leave you with, considering how fast STEM is moving, what's a surprising challenge you think future advancements might tackle? Or maybe what kind of completely unexpected interdisciplinary solution could emerge from blending these fields in new ways down the road? Something to ponder.